In a move that has sent shockwaves through the global energy landscape, Venezuela, Mexico, and Brazil have unveiled an ambitious plan to construct a colossal underwater natural gas pipeline. This announcement, made simultaneously in all three capitals, has captured the attention of governments, investors, and energy experts worldwide. The sheer scale and geopolitical implications of this project are already being felt, as energy markets react to the news with heightened anticipation and uncertainty. Dubbed the Tri-Nation Energy Corridor, this pipeline will serve as a vital artery, connecting Venezuela's vast offshore gas reserves directly to Mexico's thriving industrial centers and Brazil's renowned engineering hubs. The route, stretching thousands of kilometers beneath the Caribbean and Atlantic, is designed to facilitate the seamless flow of natural gas across borders, fostering unprecedented regional integration. Engineers and planners are already working around the clock, poring over complex schematics and coordinating logistics for what could become one of the largest infrastructure projects in Latin American history. The ultimate objective is clear: to supply Asia's booming economies with liquefied natural gas, all while bypassing traditional Western-controlled shipping routes and financial systems. By forging a direct energy link from Latin America to Asia, the three nations aim to secure new markets, increase their bargaining power, and reduce dependence on established global energy corridors. This bold strategy could reshape trade patterns, offering Asian importers a new, potentially more reliable source of energy, and giving Latin America a stronger voice on the world stage. At a historic joint press conference, the presidents of Venezuela, Mexico, and Brazil stood shoulder to shoulder, declaring the dawn of a new era of South-South cooperation and economic sovereignty. Their message was one of unity and ambition, emphasizing the importance of regional solidarity in the face of external pressures. The leaders pledged to work together not only to build the pipeline, but also to promote shared prosperity, technological innovation, and sustainable development across Latin America. This groundbreaking project directly challenges the long-standing dominance of the United States and its allies over Latin American energy flows. For decades, the region's resources have been shaped by external interests, but the Tri-Nation pipeline signals a decisive shift toward self-determination. The move has already sparked intense debate in Washington and other Western capitals, as policymakers grapple with the potential loss of influence and the emergence of a powerful new energy bloc in the Western Hemisphere. The scale of the project is nothing short of breathtaking: thousands of kilometers of deep-sea pipeline, cutting-edge technology, and a workforce spanning three nations. The construction phase alone is expected to create tens of thousands of jobs, boost local economies, and enhance energy security for millions. However, the undertaking is not without its challenges. Technical hurdles, such as deep-water engineering and environmental protection, must be overcome, while political risks, including shifting alliances and regulatory hurdles, loom large on the horizon. In the immediate aftermath of the announcement, global markets reacted with pronounced volatility. Energy stocks surged and dipped as analysts scrambled to assess the long-term impact of the pipeline on supply chains, pricing, and geopolitical alliances. Investors are watching closely, while the United States and other major players weigh their responses, considering both diplomatic and economic countermeasures. The uncertainty has injected a new level of complexity into an already turbulent global energy market. As the world watches, a new axis of power is emerging in Latin America. The Tri-Nation pipeline represents more than just an engineering marvel. It is a bold statement of intent, signaling the rise of a region determined to chart its own course in the global energy order. The coming years will reveal whether this vision can be realized, but for now all eyes are on Venezuela, Mexico, and Brazil as they embark on this historic journey. For over a decade, Venezuela has been grappling with the heavy weight of US-led sanctions, which have deeply affected every aspect of its economy. These sanctions, targeting the country's vital oil sector and financial institutions, have left Venezuela isolated from much of the global market, making it increasingly difficult to sell its oil, access international banking, or import essential goods. The result has been a dramatic decline in living standards, with the nation's once thriving cities now marked by economic hardship and uncertainty. The impact is visible everywhere, from empty supermarket shelves and shuttered businesses to long lines of citizens waiting for basic necessities. Everyday life has become a struggle, as families face shortages of food, medicine, and fuel. The sanctions have not only crippled the economy, but have also eroded the social fabric of Venezuelan society, pushing millions into poverty and forcing many to leave the country in search of better opportunities. In response, Venezuela's government has turned to bold new strategies. The proposed pipeline, stretching across Latin America, is more than just an infrastructure project. It's a calculated move to bypass US financial systems entirely. By creating a direct route for oil exports that avoids American-controlled channels, Venezuela aims to regain control over its most valuable resource. and ensure that revenue flows directly into its own hands. This pipeline is being built in close partnership with Mexico and Brazil, two regional powerhouses that share Venezuela's interest in economic independence. Together, they are forging a new, sanction-proof revenue stream, one that is shielded from external interference and designed to withstand future geopolitical pressures. For Venezuela, the stakes couldn't be higher. This project represents more than just commerce. It's a vital lifeline for a nation desperate to rebuild. With new revenue, the government hopes to restore crumbling infrastructure, revive local businesses, and bring life back to communities that have suffered for years under economic siege. By joining forces with Mexico and Brazil, Venezuela is not only gaining crucial economic partners, but also strengthening its diplomatic position. These alliances offer a shield of legitimacy, making it harder for the U.S. to isolate Venezuela on the world stage and providing a united front against further sanctions. The pipeline project is a bold statement of defiance, a clear signal that Venezuela and its allies are ready to challenge the old order. It marks a shift toward new alliances and a more multipolar world, where power is shared among many nations rather than dominated by a single superpower. Designed with security and resilience in mind, the pipeline is intended as a permanent solution. It's built to insulate Venezuela's energy sector from future sanctions, ensuring that the country can continue to export oil and generate income no matter how the geopolitical winds may shift. This new energy corridor is also a strategic pivot. Venezuela is increasingly looking east, to Asia, not north to the United States, for trade and investment. By strengthening ties with countries like China and India, Venezuela is diversifying its economic partnerships and reducing its dependence on traditional Western markets. Ultimately, this is about more than just oil. It's about securing Venezuela's future through diversified partnerships, economic resilience, and a renewed sense of national pride. The pipeline is a symbol of hope, a chance for Venezuela to reclaim its place in the world and chart a new course towards stability and prosperity. At the heart of the plan is Venezuela's Perla field, one of the largest offshore gas reserves in the Western Hemisphere. Sanctions and lack of investment have left this resource underdeveloped, a sleeping giant. The pipeline is the key to unlocking Perla's potential, transforming Venezuela into a major global gas player. As the world shifts to cleaner fuels, Perla's reserves become even more valuable. The corridor would move gas to Mexico and Brazil for processing and export to Asia, turning geological wealth into national prosperity. But developing Perla requires advanced technology and expertise, where Brazil's deepwater engineering comes in. The project's success depends on safely extracting and transporting this vast resource. The promise is immense, but so are the technical challenges. Venezuela can't do this alone. Mexico and Brazil are essential partners. Mexico acts as a strategic hub, with its industrial base and Pacific access, making it the gateway to Asia. The pipeline helps Mexico diversify away from U.S. energy dependence, boosting its own security and status. Brazil brings world-class deepwater engineering, with Petrobras leading the way in complex offshore projects. Brazilian expertise is crucial for building the pipeline across challenging seabeds. For Brazil, the project means jobs, innovation, and regional leadership. This partnership is synergy in action. Venezuela supplies the gas, Mexico provides market access, and Brazil delivers the engineering muscle. Together, they aim to reshape the continent's energy future. The pipeline's success hinges on Asia's insatiable energy demand. China, Japan, South Korea, and India need vast amounts of natural gas as they shift from coal to cleaner fuels. A stable LNG supply from Latin America offers them diversification and energy security, away from volatile regions. Long-term contracts with the Tri-Nation Corridor promise price stability and reliable supply for Asia, and revenue certainty for Latin America. The project is only viable with Asia's commitment. No buyers, no pipeline. This is a strategic partnership, not just a commercial deal. The leaders are betting that Asia's energy needs will sustain this historic undertaking. The pipeline is a bridge to the future, connecting Latin resources to Asia's growth. The engineering challenge is immense. Thousands of kilometers of pipeline across deep-sea trenches and seismic zones. Specialized vessels, robotic submarines, and ultra-strong materials are required to lay pipe at depths of 2 to 3 kilometers. Every weld must be flawless. A single failure could be catastrophic. The Caribbean's tectonic activity means the route must avoid unstable areas, adding complexity and cost. The financial stakes are enormous, hundreds of billions in investment with no room for error. Investors need confidence in both the engineering and the project's completion. Any technical setback could threaten the entire enterprise. This is a test of both technology and financial resolve. The pipeline represents more than just an energy project. It's a direct challenge to U.S. influence in the Western Hemisphere, a region Washington has long considered its strategic backyard. For decades, the United States has shaped the political and economic landscape of Latin America. and a project of this scale threatens to shift the balance of power. Washington is unlikely to stay silent as its traditional dominance is tested by new alliances and bold infrastructure moves. One of the first tools in the American playbook is financial leverage. The U.S. could deploy targeted financial sanctions, focusing on banks, investors, and companies involved in the pipeline's construction and operation. By restricting access to U.S. financial markets and the dollar, Washington can make it extremely difficult for the project to secure funding or attract international partners. This tactic has been used before, with significant impact, and serves as a powerful deterrent for those considering involvement. In addition to sanctions, the U.S. might ramp up its own liquefied natural gas exports, leveraging its position as a top global LNG supplier. By offering Asian buyers more attractive deals, lower prices, flexible contracts, and reliable delivery, Washington could undercut the economic rationale for the Latin American pipeline, making it less appealing for potential customers. Diplomatically, the U.S. is likely to engage its Asian allies and partners, urging them to reconsider participation in the corridor. Through high-level meetings, back-channel negotiations, and public statements, American officials can apply pressure, reminding allies of the risks of aligning with projects that challenge U.S. interests. Another strategy involves highlighting the instability of key players like Venezuela. By drawing attention to political turmoil, economic mismanagement, and environmental risks associated with the pipeline, the U.S. can sow doubt among investors and governments. Environmental activists and human rights organizations may be encouraged to amplify concerns, further complicating the project's progress. To counter the appeal of the pipeline, Washington could offer alternative aid packages and energy partnerships. By providing financial incentives, technical assistance, and access to American energy technology, the U.S. can entice countries to remain within its sphere of influence, weakening the coalition behind the pipeline. The American response will be multi-pronged, combining financial pressure, diplomatic outreach, and competitive energy exports. Each move is designed to protect U.S. interests and maintain its leadership in the region. Meanwhile, the tri-nation partners are not without options. They are counting on non-Western funding, especially from China, whose banks and state-owned enterprises have a track record of supporting large-scale infrastructure projects in the face of Western opposition. Chinese investment could provide the financial lifeline needed to withstand U.S. pressure and keep the pipeline on track. Ultimately, the political chess game has only just begun. Each side is maneuvering carefully, weighing risks and rewards, as the future of energy and influence in the hemisphere hangs in the balance. The coming months will reveal whether the pipeline can survive the storm, or if American resistance will force a dramatic rethink. The pipeline's impact ripples across the Caribbean and Central America, offering new options beyond U.S. influence. Smaller nations, long dependent on costly imported fuel, could negotiate access to cheaper, cleaner gas. This could lower energy costs, boost economies, and reduce carbon footprints. The project introduces a new diplomatic dynamic. These countries now have another bloc to engage with. Aligning with the pipeline could mean economic gains, but also risks angering Washington. Each nation must weigh the benefits against potential loss of U.S. aid or trade. The pipeline has already changed the region's strategic calculus. Even unbuilt, it expands the horizons for every nation in the neighborhood. The tri-nation energy corridor's greatest impact may be the idea itself, a bold vision for a new world order. It signals that Latin America and the global South are ready to shape their own destinies, not just follow Western rules. Even if the project stalls, it's a blueprint for South-South cooperation and strategic autonomy. The proposal inspires similar ambitions worldwide, challenging the status quo. It forces the U.S. and others to rethink sanctions and engagement strategies. The pipeline is a bargaining chip, shifting diplomatic dynamics. Whether built or not, it sparked a global debate on independence and collaboration. The idea of self-determination, once released, is impossible to contain.